got cut off about Interscope. Like I say, I don't have nothing negative to say about Interscope. At the same time, when Michael Fuchs from Time Warner offered me $80 million and then build me 2 state-of-the-art studios to leave Interscope and go strictly with Time Warner, I turned it down because I started with Jimmy and Ted. But if you ask, what have they done for me since I've been incarcerated, ain't nobody sent me a book of stamps, a pair of shoes. So I guess a lot of people don't understand the loyalty. I know they got a lot of, took some of my artists, took some of my producers, and I mean, before I was incarcerated, but it was in the process of it was already started up. And I know when, I don't have nothing negative about any members ever been on death row. Anything they got going on is good. I wish the best for them. I know when Dre came and had a conversation with me, he said, look, I want something more than anything in, you know, possibly more than anything in the world. And I said, what's that? And he said he wanted to be white. I said, well, look, I ain't God. I can't make you white. You know, I'm a manager and all things. I mean, you can make enough money and you can act white and you can live white, but I can't make you white. And he said, well, Jimmy told me that he can put me on a level where I don't have to curse on my records and I can live that type of way. He said, Jim, you know, and I was shocked. I was like, well, you know, where all this come from? Being black and all of a sudden you want to be white, you know. I tell him the only way to be, you know, white, you probably can never be, but if you can marry a white person and you can have, then your kids more likely to be more white instead of this black. And, you know, I feel we friends because he take my advice because he done it. You know, he married a white lady, he got, you know, mixed kids, which is good. Anything is good for those guys to live their life and move forward. But before people understand about, it's a difference between having a hit record and being a superstar. You know, a superstar, if you walk in a room, everybody want an autograph. You got some guys sell a lot of records, but they really not a star. And to have a powerful record company is the presence. You can have a guy that have a hit record out, and your record label don't have that presence, so when they come to the awards, it's no big deal. So therefore, it's like the whole package. Put out a superstar, put out a hit record, and when they presence makes people say, hey, you want a few more front row seats? You know, it's a big difference. And that's the difference I think that the excitement that is lacking right now for the music business. But I'm quite sure things will be back to where it was and even better.
That's my last question. What's going to happen when you get out?
We're definitely going to take over the movie business, do real movies. Like you said before, people doing documentaries and they started Death Row, but you don't hear no Death Row music in there. If you own Death Row, you got something to do with Death Row. How could you talk about Death Row and don't have the music? Death Row, that's like having Motown, doing a thing on Motown and Berry Gordy, and don't have the Supreme singing, and don't have Smokey Robinson singing, because it goes hand in glove. So we definitely going to take on a movie business for doing great movies, and the artists. Death Row is an artist label. It's about the youth. It's about Jay Valentine, who's a teenager, who's an R&B singer who looks real nice, can compete and beat anybody out there. His brother, the PB, who's an R&B singer, and you got Crooked Eye, who's the best in the West Coast. You got Hutch as a producer. You got SKG's probably the best female rapper out there. You know, you got all these things and these options where we're giving the real music back to the people because people want to pay for what they get. You know, anytime anybody away, it gives a person an opportunity to say things or do things. And I understand what people would like to say, what people like to do. And if it's Snoop, I wish him the best. And my interviews don't have to be about Snoop. Let Snoop live his life. If it's about Dre, I wish him the best. My interview don't have to be about him. Let him live his life. The Dog Pound, whoever. But I think as a man, anything you say once, you got to be able to say it twice. I'm going to respect you if you can say it twice. If you're going to speak bad about somebody and you're going to put accusations on somebody, be able to sit down and look him in his eyes right now and say, yeah, I said that. I did that. And you know, and everybody else know that those things don't happen. There's a difference between being a man and being a male. between being a rider and being a coward. Not the same.